Good afternoon. It's time for your news at 4 on the street 919 FM, courtesy Tea and Tech, the power to make it work. In the headlines, the school feeding program to be placed on hold, according to the Minister of Education. The police to monitor home quarantine COVID-19 patients. And in news overseas, Hurricane Teddy swells to a Category 3 storm. And all the details. Education Minister Dr. Nyan Gadsby Dolly this morning revealed that the Ministry of Education's school feeding program has been put on hold and transferred to the Ministry of Social Development. She was speaking on a popular morning television talk show. She said the Education Ministry previously planned to have meals distributed to needy students through the offices of the Members of Parliament, but that has been scrapped. The minister also stated that the program's shift from her ministry to Social Development Ministry means she cannot say what the final plans for the program would be. Earlier this week, leader of the Movement for Social Justice, David Abdullah, called for the program to continue after media reports stated that the government was considering the use of food cards to replace the program. In other news, Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith has advised that the police service, through the Emergency Response Patrol and other patrols in the 9 policing divisions, will be monitoring persons who have been placed in home quarantine. In a release earlier this afternoon, Mr. Griffith stated that it has come to the attention of the TTPS that persons who have tested positive for the virus, who were placed in home quarantine, have been breaking the public health ordinance regulations. The commissioner noted that it is an offense under the Quarantine Act to break the quarantine. The offense carries a fine of $6,000 or 6 months in prison. He also pointed out that several persons have already been charged with the breaching of the Quarantine Act. A 27-year-old unemployed man from Diamond Vale, Diego Martin, was due to appear before a Port of Spain magistrate today, charged with the maliciously setting of fire to the Ministry of Health's head office in Port of Spain on August 8, 2020. The TTPS stated in a release this afternoon that Jean-Paul Cooper was arrested on Monday for the crime. Just around 1:30 a.m. on Saturday, August 8th, firefighters from the Ryson Road station attended to the fire call at the basement of the CHIC building on Park Street in Port of Spain that housed the ministry. Cooper was said to have been fleeing the scene at the time. Caribbean Airlines has announced that it is working with the National Security Ministry to put on a special flight from Trinidad and Tobago to New York on September 23rd. People interested in traveling on the specially approved flight are asked to contact the Caribbean Airlines Reservations Sales and Service Center. Such persons must seek the necessary exemptions from the National Security Ministry via email at travelexemption@mns.gov.tt. That's travelexemption@mns.gov.tt. Travelers are asked to book via CAL's call center at 625-7200 between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. or visit any city ticket office in Trinidad or Tobago. The flight will be expected to depart Piaco International Airport at 8 a.m. and will arrive at JFK International at 1:10 p.m. Finally, in news overseas, the U.S. National Hurricane Center this morning upgraded Hurricane Teddy to a Category 3 storm. Teddy has maximum sustained winds that are near 195 kilometers per hour with higher gusts. Teddy is expected to approach Bermuda as a hurricane later on Sunday or Monday. Bermuda, which was struck by Hurricane Paulette earlier this week, is likely to feel effects of strong winds, storm surges, and heavy rainfall. Swells produced by Teddy are expected also expected to affect portions of the Leeward Islands, the Greater Antilles, the Bahamas, and the southeastern portion of the United States late this week into the weekend. And that was a look at your news to 4 p.m. on the street 919 FM, courtesy TN Tech, the power to make it work. Recapping the headlines. The school feeding program to be placed on hold, according to the education minister. The police to monitor home quarantine COVID-19 patients. And in news overseas, Hurricane Teddy swells to a Category 3 storm. Our next major newscast comes up at 7 a.m. tomorrow morning. I am Jason Shields. Do have a good afternoon.
News from the street. 919fm.com.